everybody, Jade Hamilton here again, and I'm so sorry. I know it's Tuesday, but I'm going to do a couple of Monday tags with little Tamsin here. We're doing Whatever I Want Monday with the lovely Dee at the Baby Patch, and we're also doing Monster Monday with Gilly the Monster and his mummy over at their channel. And although Tamsin isn't wearing anything monster themed today, we've got a beautiful Delft blue M&S romper, Delft blue and white striped romper that's made of a kind of cheesecloth material with a white t-shirt underneath and little ducklings on the front, and a beautiful navy blue bib with white and blue and red hearts all over it. So she hasn't got, and she's got a little ballet slippers on too. So we haven't got anything monster themed clothing wise, but we have got a monster themed story. Well, it's not quite, well, it depends on what you call dragons, because this story is about a little dragon called Zog and his friends who go around saving the day in various ways. It's called Zog and the Flying Doctors. It's by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler, and as per all the videos where I read, all copyright goes to Julia Donaldson, Axel Scheffler, and their publisher, which is Alison Green Books. I own absolutely nothing. Make yourself comfortable, grab a hot drink if you've got one, or even a cold one. It's so hot in the UK today. Grab an extra blanket if you're chilly, or a fan if you're hot, and we will carry on with our story. Meet the Flying Doctors, a dragon, knight and girl. Their names are Gadabout the Great and Zog and Princess Pearl. Pearl gives people medicine and pills and vaccinations, and Gadabout is expert at performing operations. Zog is good at flying, but not quite so good at landing. But Gadabout and Princess Pearl are always understanding. Flying high one morning, they heard a mermaid wail. "I'm sunburned and it hurts," she cried, and swished her scaly tail. Bang, crash, thump, they landed. The mermaid's skin was red. Pearl rubbed in some special cream. "And wear this hat," she said. "Thank you," said the mermaid as she waved a fond goodbye, even as the team of flying doctors sped away across the sky. As the sun rose higher, they saw a unicorn. He pawed the ground and whinnied, I've grown an extra horn. Bang, crash, thump they landed. "I'll help you," said the knight, and he cut the horn off gently, to the unicorn's delight. Halfway through the afternoon, they heard a lion sneeze. "I've got the flu," the lion roared. "Can someone help me, please?" Bang, crash, thump they landed. Bang, crash, thump they landed, and Pearl said, "Take this pill, and do keep warm. That's terribly important when you're ill." But the lion's cave was chilly, so Zog said, Fetch some wood." Then he breathed out lots of flames until the fire burned bright and good. "Thank you," roared the lion. "I'm feeling nice and warm." Then the team of flying doctors sped away into the storm. As evening fell, they saw a great big palace down below. "My uncle's house," said Princess Pearl. "Let's go and say hello." Bang, crash, thump they landed. Pearl's uncle was the king. He didn't say hello. Instead he said, "You naughty thing!" "Oh dear, where have you been?" he thundered. "You look an awful mess. What's happened to your crown? And where's your pretty frilly dress?" He told his men to seize her. "Oh, that's not very nice, Tamsin, is it? You shouldn't do that." "No, you shouldn't, should you?" He told his men to seize her and to lock her up inside. Princess Pearl was furious. She stamped and stormed and cried. Weeks went by, and Princess Pearl spent many weary hours sewing pretty cushions and arranging pretty flowers. The others tried to rescue her with all their might and main, but they simply couldn't manage. All their efforts were in vain. Each night it flew to visit her and perched upon the sill, and one dark night she told them the king had fallen ill. Oh dear, so the poor old king's not very well. The king grew worse. His head was sore. His arms and legs felt weak. His skin had turned bright orange, and he found it hard to speak. He called a lot of doctors, a new one every day. He croaked, "What is this illness?" But they simply couldn't say. They didn't know the answer, but Pearl was pretty sure. "It looks like orange fever." And she read about the cure. Grated horn of unicorn, a mighty lion sneeze, some mermaid scales, a little slime, and half a pound of cheese. She told the others what to get, and do be very quick. My uncle could be dying. He looks extremely sick. Away through Zog and flew Zog and Gadabout. They reached the lion's den. Bang, crash, thump, they landed. He sneezed for them, and then they flew back to the forest, where the grateful unicorn was very pleased to give them his unwanted sawn-off horn. Back to the mermaid's rock they flew. She gladly gave some scales, and her sea snail friends allowed them to collect their slimy trails. Bang, crash, thump, they landed on the bedroom windowsill. Princess Pearl said, oh, sorry, I missed the page. Back to the mermaid's rock they flew. She gladly gave some scales, and her sea snail friends allowed them to collect their slimy trails. Zog said, I'm exhausted. But he flew and flew until, bang, crash, thump, he landed on the bedroom windowsill. Princess Pearl said thank you for the scales, the slime, the sneeze, and the horn, which she then grated up with half a pound of cheese. She tiptoed to her uncle's room. The king lay on his bed. Oh God, I've missed a couple of pages. Hold on. I'm going to have to go back. Wait a minute. Don't mind me, gang. Bang, so we're back at the bit where they've landed at the king's palace. Bang, crash, thump, they landed. Pearl's uncle was the king. He didn't say hello. Instead, he said, "You naughty thing! Where have you been?" he thundered. "You look an awful mess. What's happened to your crown? And where's your pretty frilly dress?" "But, uncle, can't you see that I'm a doctor now?" said Pearl. The king replied, "Princesses can't be doctors, silly girl." Oh dear. He told his men to seize her and to lock her up inside. Princess Pearl was furious. She stamped and stormed and cried. Weeks went by, and Princess Pearl spent many weary hours sewing pretty cushions and arranging pretty flowers. The others tried to rescue her with all their might and main, but they simply couldn't manage. All their efforts were in vain. Each night they flew to visit her and perched upon her sill, and one dark night she told them that the king had fallen ill. The king grew worse, his head was sore, his arms and legs felt weak, his skin had turned bright orange, and he found it hard to speak. He called a lot of doctors, a new one every day. He croaked, "What is this illness?" But they simply couldn't say. They didn't know the answer, but Pearl was pretty sure. It looks like orange fever. And she read about the cure. Grated horn of unicorn, a mighty lion sneeze, some mermaid scales, a little slime, and half a pound of cheese. They Away flew Zog and Gadabout. They reached the lion's den. Bang, crash, thump, they landed. He sneezed for them, and then they flew back to the forest where the grateful unicorn was very pleased to give them his unwanted sawn-off horn. Back to the mermaid's rock they flew. She gladly gave some scales, and her sea snail friends allowed them to collect their slimy trails. Zog said, "I'm exhausted," but he flew and flew until bang, crash, thump they landed on the bedroom windowsill. Princess Pearl said thank you for the scales, the slime, the sneeze, and the horn, which then she grated up with half a pound of cheese. She tiptoed to her uncle's room. The king lay in his bed. She held a spoonful to his mouth. "Now open wide," she said. After just one spoonful, her uncle felt much stronger, and after spoonful two, he wasn't orange any longer. After spoonful three, the king was dancing with delight. "Princesses can be doctors. You were absolutely right. I'm sorry that I locked you up. Of course you must go free. But do come back to visit me and bring your friends to tea." "Hooray!" cried Pearl, and out she ran to join the other two. Then off into the sunset sped the Flying Doctor crew. So the king learned his lesson, didn't he? That princesses can do lots of other things and not just sit about looking pretty. That was a good story, wasn't it, Tamsin? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. If you haven't checked out either Dee at the Baby Patch or Ginny the Monster, do. They're wonderful channels full of wonderful babies and fun and joy, and they'll make your day with their videos. So do give them a bit of love because they deserve it. And on that note, Tamsin and I will see you very soon for another video and another story. Can you wave, Tamsin? Good girl. Cheerio, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting. It really makes my day when you do. And I'm so sorry I didn't get that in quickly. Cheerio, my loves. Thank you.